Hello movie fans and welcome to Lost in the Reel. Today we'll be reviewing the new Tom Hanks remake, A Man Called Otto. Is this film able to triumph next to the original, or is it just sappy throwaway entertainment? Let's talk about it. A Man Called Otto follows grumpy 60-year-old Otto, whose wife has recently died and is forced to retire from his job of nearly 40 years. Because of all this, he decides to end his life. But his attempts are constantly interrupted by his boisterous new neighbors, which leads to an unlikely friendship. A Man Called Otto, based on the novel A Man Called Ove by Frederick Bachman and the 2015 film of the same name, is yet another example of Hollywood remaking a remarkable international movie catered to American audiences. While these remakes were a dime a dozen back in the day, it seems like they are almost inconsequential now that people have become more willing to endure subtitles in the name of good entertainment. So I went into this Tom Hanks-led movie with a bit of trepidation, as I felt like the original was good enough on its own to be left alone. Luckily, A Man Called Otto has a lot of great things going for it, and it's able to stand on its own as a touching, oftentimes very funny little movie. Is it a saccharine sweet weepy that manipulates your emotions at times? Absolutely. But sometimes that's not necessarily a bad thing. A Man Called Otto wears its heart on its sleeve and never tries to overstep itself. It's a very simple movie about a grumpy old man who in 2 hours runtime finds his will to live again. And I can appreciate the fact that director Mark Forster and writer David McGee take that simplicity and use it to their advantage. The best thing this film has going for it is its cast. And I have to admit that Tom Hanks has not been better than this in a long while. While 2022 saw Hanks give two ridiculous misfire performances as the Colonel in Elvis and Geppetto in Disney's Pinocchio, he finally finds himself at home as Otto. This performance is perfectly fine-tuned to his strengths, and every grunt and curse under his breath allows for great laughs. Otto is one of Hanks' most endearing characters to date, and I think audiences are going to love him here. And the rest of the ensemble of Otto's neighbors are also just as charming. But it is Mariana Treviño who nearly stole the show away from Hanks. The actress from Netflix's Club de Cuervos is so exuberant and charismatic as the pregnant wife who moves across the street from Otto. Her character Marisol is the one that is able to break down our lead's barriers, and their relationship is what makes A Man Called Otto fire on all cylinders. If it wasn't such a stacked year for supporting performances, I would say Treviño deserved a shot at an Oscar nomination. But I think this film is more of a crowd pleaser than an Academy Awards darling. I also believe that director Mark Forster was the perfect choice to take on this material. A lot of directors would have leaned extremely heavy on the melodrama and cloying nature of the story, but Forster shows a great deal of restraint that elevates this above many similar films. The director of Finding Neverland, The Kite Runner, and Stranger Than Fiction is able to imbue Otto with his own particular visual flair, sense of earnestness, and genuine heart. And he doesn't shy away from the darker aspects of the premise either, which will turn off some viewers, but it adds a weight and levity to the film that is much needed. My only real qualm with A Man Called Otto is in its main conflict. The film takes its precious time building up this villain, only to take him down in a matter of seconds. It makes for a rousing yet anticlimactic conflict that ends up feeling a tad bit unnecessary. You know, I really do think a lot could have gone wrong with this remake, but all of the right creative forces came together to make it something quite special. Is it groundbreaking, or will it make my top 10 films of the year? No, but it wildly succeeds at what it came here to do. It tells a touching story that is able to make you cry with tears of laughter and heartbreak in equal measure. And I hope people flock to go see Otto in the theaters because it's just the type of bona fide crowd pleaser that audiences have been clamoring for and honestly, one that we all need right about now. What are your thoughts on A Man Called Otto? Will you be seeing this in theaters? And what other tearjerkers have you been moved by recently? Sound off in the comment section down below. And until next time, my friends, take care.